Hello everyone, welcome back to Dawn and Dreams. It is your lady Miss Z. So we got a little different setup today, so I'm gonna push this back a little bit more. You see the cards. Starting to focus. Okay, cool. All right, so thank you for joining me for another video. If you would like to book a reading, you can go to dawnanddreams.com. That link will always be in the description box. So today you're seeing me from a different point of view. I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. I'm actually not feeling too well, unfortunately. But I didn't want to miss this opportunity to give you guys a reading. And this is going to be a little different because I'm going to do a general reading, okay? General readings are for everybody. All right, so anybody who clicks on this video is supposed to see it. And you want to take whatever message that resonates with you, because we're just going to do a general reading for the spring equinox. So either you click on this video on March 20th or after, but you will still feel the effects of the spring equinox is bringing in new things. Of course, we have been going through the retrograde period, but for me, I haven't really been affected like that, other than just like camera glitches, you know, little small things. I've been wanting to make a lot of major moves, but I can tell you that, of course, you want to wait till after the retrograde period to make any drastic changes, but you still want to use the energy to create, because that's what mood I have been in. I feel like if you go into the retrograde with determination to not let it bother you, and also continuing to move forward, also wanting to create, it's going to stick with you. All right. Because before I even knew about the retrograde, or that something existed that's working against me, I never paid attention to it. And I heard that from somebody that I watch, and he was like, you don't need to, you know, give into that. You still have to continue forward regardless of what's working against you. All right, so now I just kind of turn off that little knob as to where I'm paying attention to what's going on, because right now I've been having a lot of blessings and things coming my way, a lot of good things I have never seen, you know, just pop up out of nowhere. So I've experienced a lot of good luck during this time period, and you know, sometimes it's not always going to happen, but for me it's been straight. So that's what I have to say about that. So don't let the retrograde period get to you. I believe it's ending soon, but child, I don't even worry about it. What else is going on? I just wouldn't tell you to do any major moves as far as like quitting your job or anything like that until afterwards, okay? But as far as new ideas, write them down. I've been getting a lot of new ideas and things. For me, this is the new year, okay? For me, this is the new year. Right now, we are in birthing new projects. I see this as getting the vision, the downloads, especially with the full moon. Working towards achievement. That doesn't stop just because we're going through a retrograde, all right? We still have to continue forward. So again, this is just going to be a general reading. We're just going to check on the energy as far as what the spring equinox is bringing for everybody, and what we need to focus on during this time period, this fresh time period. I hate that it does that. It keeps trying to refocus, and I'm like, I'm going to be shuffling a lot, so it's probably going to go in and out of focus, and that's going to irritate me. But I'm going to do the best that I can, okay? All right, so let's get and see what's going on. Uh-oh. Okay. So we have a lot of things going on. And we have some things that are being avoided during this time period as well. So I'm saying that some people are avoiding the elevation right now. So you may be in a time period where you're actually avoiding the elevation, basically excelling in your life. Now is a time to excel and do things you've never done before. Do not let anything spiritually hold you back. Do not let the fear of being something better than who you are hold you back, because I'm seeing new opportunities coming in for you, but there's a lot of doubts. This could be in the form of a job. This could be in the form of just, again, I see a lot of spiritual elevation here. And this could be a change in religion. It could be a change in what your normal ritual is. It could be fear. But right now is the time to figure out what you want to sacrifice for. What are you giving your energy to? Are you going to keep being regular? Or are you going to live to your greatest potential? Because there's a lot of stuck energy here as well. So right now is a time to not let your past disappointments distract you from what your goal is. Do not let the disappointments of other people distract you from working on what you need to do right now. This is what's important to you. Everybody else is going to, attach themselves later on, okay? They're going to understand what you're trying to bring, about when it starts popping off, basically. And that's how it always happens. Nobody understands what you're trying to do. Some people want to start YouTube channels and they think it's mediocre, or that it could never be successful, or that it's not a real career. But this is what you want to do. This is just an example, but this is just what you want to do. You can't live up to everybody else's expectations all the time. You need to be working towards your goals. Because at the end of the day, once you become successful with it, I'm pretty sure they're going to still be around you. Now is not the time to reflect on the past as if the past is who you are today. What I mean by that is sometimes we look back on the past and say we should have, could have, would have did this. If we would have did this, it would have changed what's going on today. Where you are right now is most important. One thing about it, I can say that some of us have been bullied as a child, always kind of in the shadows, and maybe that's not everybody that's looking at this reading, but I see a lot of that. I see a lot of past childhood aggressions that are still holding us down. They're putting us in a fear. So we're not acting on what we intuitively feel right now. This is the spirit door right here. And then you have, representing your intuition. What you feel, like all of this is just intuition right here. This is dreams, having dreams of what you want to do, receiving spiritual downloads during this time period. Everything is open up right now. I want to say that everything is open up. The sun is out. You're receiving a lot of energy. So if you don't feel like working towards something, you just need to open up your window. That's what I feel right about now. Okay. And I know in some places it's still kind of cold. It's still kind of cold in my area too. But get a little bit of sun. Because you're getting a lot of intuitive downloads right now that are telling you and pushing you towards your goals. We're going to also get some ancestral messages about what we need to focus on right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that because I think this deck is done talking, okay? Yeah, this basically just means you still got a lot of fight left in you. You still have a lot of energy on reserve. So even people who feel like they're too old to do certain things, I hear a lot of that. You're never too old to get dirty. You're never too old to do what you want to do. Some of us are very young and very mentally mature to the point that we think that, we have to work in an office forever. No. You decide your life, you decide your purpose. So it's all about right now working through those mental restraints, because I've been feeling a lot of that lately, a lot of mental restraints, but we are looking towards accomplishment. You will never truly be acknowledged for who you are until you're doing what you're supposed to do. I realize that. I get more praise for being a spiritual guru than I do anything else. So it's like, wow, I should have already did this. But everything happens in divine timing, of course, when you're ready for it to happen. Because, of course, if I would have did it a long time ago, if I would have more so aligned in with my spirituality, yes, it would have been helpful. I'm not going to say that it wouldn't have been, but I can tell you that now I'm more ready for something. So there's no mistakes. But when you're supposed to do something, you're supposed to do it because it'll actually make your life better. That's what a lot of people don't realize. It'll make your life better. I'm sorry, I got a little blanket right here. I apologize, guys. I don't know, like it's going to keep zooming in and out, so we may not do this again, but it was just something I went out on a limb and did. Hold on. Yeah. One thing about me is I like all my cards to be upright, because if they want to go in reverse, they'll go in reverse. I know how to read reversals too. I like to keep that energy clear, because my ancestors will flip over the cards if they want me to see it a different way. So we're going to get messages from my personal deck. We're going to get a little message from here too. And where's my other deck? Okay. This will be the perfect deck to use as far as this. I should have got my Manziel Tarot deck as far as work and things like that, because I'm seeing just a lot of work and energy. Right now, as far as love, you're going to be looking for your partner's support in a lot of things. New things are beginning. So what died off, you probably need to just let it go, as far as love. But what survived the winter, typically is going to grow even more. And what you don't have, things will start to grow. So I don't feel like anybody should be overly concerned about love, because honestly, this is the best time to find somebody going into spring and the summer. Things are growing. You're more active during this time period for some of us. Look, Spirit saying, let that die off. I took care of that. That's an ancestor right there. They're like, I took care of that. Don't bring it back up if it's already gone. Friendships that have ended. I've had a lot of things to just kind of drop off in my life, and I still question things. But I can tell you that everything happens for a reason. So if they, chop somebody's head off for them to stay out of your life, not literally, but just like, okay, I moved this person out of the way spiritually for you, it's going to make room for new people in your life. Okay. Okay, so one card is trying to come out. So the ancestors want to focus on the endings, but also things that are great in your life. Endings cause, I'm going to say endings cause. Endings can cause fulfillment in ways that you don't see. Okay, maybe they got rid of, like I always say, a job, because that's the one thing we tie ourselves to as if it's a part of our soul mission, and it's not really our soul mission. Now, sometimes you can find a job that's in alignment with your soul mission, and you're lucky if you can do that. But a lot of us have jobs that we attach ourselves to as if they are our soul missions, and it blocks out the view of the true fulfillment. The dancer that you really supposed to be. And yet you've attached yourself to certain things that have taken that away from you. Rather it was a toxic relationship, rather it's being at a place where you can't really grow. And I've seen that happen before. If you're living in a place to where, or in a space, community, to where they don't really appreciate dancers like that, they don't appreciate music or stuff like that, maybe you get evicted. And you're like, wow, why did this happen to me? And you're mourning the loss. But then there's spirit right there saying, hey, your boat's right here, and we're going to take you to a better place of fulfillment. So this is right here is understanding your spiritual gifts, understanding your spiritual tools, the things that make you special, mastering your craft. Now we're at a space where we can actually show people what we can do. When it's wintertime, a lot of times you're in the house more. You're in the house, you're meditating, you're getting closer to spirit. Now spirit is releasing you to show the world what you can do. And it doesn't matter if you're still in the house, if you're still making videos in the house, you're still, so don't think of it like that. You can still have a homebody job. It's just showing spirit. Spirit wants you to show what you can do with yourself. And I talked about that with one of my clients, using your weapon, using your spiritual gift as a tool and not a weapon. Basically, with empaths, they pick up on energy so much that they can lash out on people because it's so annoying, especially depending on your zodiac sign. You perceive things different ways, but instead of lashing out on people, take the time to understand people. And that was the message. So here is the same thing. If you have a spiritual gift that is putting you into a very stressful place, like you're picking up on all these negative energies and you're just kind of like, I don't even want to have this gift anymore. It's kind of irritating. Learn to work with that gift to benefit you. Instead of working against your gifts, use it to benefit you in the highest light. Learn to master your gift. You don't have it for no reason. And this means a lot of focus. There may be a lot of headaches and a lot of stress around figuring out new plans, new ventures for yourself, but things will come together. Don't let the stress discourage you. Okay? So now I'm going to go in with my personal cards dedicated to my ancestors, and they're going to walk you through some more lessons. So all you got to do is say yes, it's coming in. So this is the tree. This is the opportunity. Things growing. It's springtime. New beginnings. This represents an opportunity coming straight from the heavens, okay? Being guided to you. What are you going to do with that opportunity? I have a lot of spiritual people who come to me for readings, and one thing, it always comes up for them that they're supposed to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like, there's no way around that. When you're gifted, you have to find some way to let that energy out. And I don't just mean gifted in the way of psychic energy. Gifted as in you have a natural talent for something. One way or another, karmically, you're tied to trying to let that out. You have to fulfill that mission. And it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Because quite naturally, what you're gifted at will actually turn into something that makes you happy and fulfilled because you're naturally good at it. Yes, they're not playing. They're not playing. Okay, so I pick up on the energy of others. And you have keep suffering then. So this means if you do not learn to master your gifts, they say keep suffering. And I put it just like that because that's how my ancestors communicate. They're no different from when they were here, okay? They say keep suffering then. If you don't want to, stop doing what you're supposed to be doing, stop doing something that's hurting you, then you just going to suffer then. We just going to let it happen, okay? If you don't want to take my advice, if you don't want to take that spiritual notion, and of course they are patient with you, so don't take it for face value, but take it as, your ancestors and your guides are very serious about helping you. So if you ask for help, they're going to find a way to help you. Try the solution. No, it's not easy learning who you are. No, it's not easy, finding spiritual development or finding a spiritual practice. It's not easy. It wasn't meant to be easy. But once you master your craft, you become the chief. Take advantage of what you're capable of doing. You can pick up on the energy. Well, you know when to move around people. That's what's crazy. Higher forces at work. Wish granted one to come out. We'll get a couple more cards from here. Some cards I shuffle until I hear it stop. So if you see me shuffling a lot, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, yes. All right. Let's get, if I can get one more message from the ancestors. Okay. All right. So they did want to speak on that. So you have hidden treasures. Now is the time to discover things. Lots of hidden treasures growing in spring, meaning lots of opportunities are going to start popping up. All the way going into April is a great time to discover things. Okay? You have new position play your role. So a lot of you are going to be advancing. A lot of you are going to get opportunities to level up. Now, it's your choice to level up. Sometimes you have to turn down positions because they're not in alignment with who you are. But just know that opportunity is going to be out there, because I've had to turn down positions because I'm like, hey, y'all didn't, try to give this to me when I wanted it. But then I end up getting into a better position. So I was supposed to deny it. So use your discernment when new opportunities pop up. But just know that you have a lot of options out there for elevation. Okay, you have, I don't recall the last time I took advice from anyone. So one thing I was discussing with my boyfriend, it was about how people, can see, which he's going to talk about that too, but seeing the value of guidance. We all need it from time to time. And if we don't get it, a lot of times we can escape to ourselves in the darkness. Nobody knows that we're in pain is basically what I'm trying to say. So if you have been pushing yourself further and further away from society, and what I mean by that is you could be around 1 million people, but deep down inside, you're like 50,000 miles away. So this is also something that you're going to have to deal with, so that it doesn't affect you. And this is not everybody, because I know everybody is not, eternally suffering. But for this to come up, it must be a mass of people who really, really need to deal with what's holding them back or what's pushing them back from the crowd. And like I said, a lot of people experience this spiritually when they're finally putting themselves out there. And, you see how cold the world can be when you act different, when you're acting different from society. It can push you back. I can be around 1 million people right now and I can still feel separated from everybody, or that nobody wants to hear my voice or be accepted. But you should not let that distract you, because you have a greater mission. And this also says to get help sometimes. Sometimes we have to find spiritual friends or people that we communicate with. And sometimes that's only going to be your partner if you have one. But one thing you don't want to do is get lost. So, if you got to purchase a reading, if you got to do your own divination, if you have to connect with your friends who might understand you, or even connect to some new people, because sometimes your friends don't understand you. I know mine, some of them don't, because they're not into that type of stuff. But you can find somebody to connect to. Now is your time to shine like a butterfly. So do not let, other people draw you into that hole. Okay? So last thing we're going to do is pull from this deck. I think we're going to close out this reading, guys. I still feel like I need to grab from that deck, so I might do that too. But we'll be done here in just a second. Okay, intuition. So a lot of intuitive downloads, all right? So when you're seeing, I'm hearing numbers, so a lot of you may be seeing numbers around this time. And a lot of times, I see a lot of numbers, okay? So when people tell me they're seeing numbers, I'm just like, okay, who isn't? I'm seeing 444, 222, 111. So that's never like the most amazing thing for me now that it happens so much. Like everywhere I go, like I don't really pay attention to it. But lately, I actually have been paying attention to it. Like I know if I'm listening to the right thing, I'll see it on my screen, and it shows confirmation, okay? And if you want to get deeper into it, they do have things online where you can look up the meanings of what it means for you. But definitely pay attention to all intuitive downloads, especially your dreams. Okay, if nothing else spiritually is going on with you, everybody dream. Well, I ain't gonna say that because sometimes it's difficult to tap into your dreams. Some people don't remember their dreams, but work on it, That's what I make these dream catchers for. My dream catchers actually influence dreams. Well, some of them do. Some of them, kind of slow down your dreams. Some of them speed up your dreams. But there are ways to enhance your dream level. So if nothing else is going on with you spiritually, if you don't see spirits, if you're not, getting like signs everywhere and stuff like that, then just try the dreams. Is going to be your easiest way to get those downloads. But either way, even just your gut feelings, that's good enough to pay attention to those during this time. That is very, very important. Because like I said, for me, this is the beginning of the year. So what you do now during this time is very important. Okay? So let's see if anything else is coming out. Okay, we do have one, and I'm hearing one more, so we'll get that one more. Yeah, we got it. Okay. So turmoil. Okay, so we're coming out of this place. We're coming out of this place. Don't get stuck in the, in wintertime. Don't get stuck there. Okay? But still pay attention to the things that have died off. You have balance. Retaining more balance in your life. Seeing what's important and what can wait. So you have stillness in the reverse. So this is a time of movement. A lot of people still want to just kind of breeze through everything and feel like, oh, I can get to it later. What's that saying? Don't put off what you can do today, tomorrow. Don't save it for tomorrow for you to pick it up. Do it today. Every day is a blessing to be here, to be able to create, to make a little time for. One thing about me is I could not make a lot of excuses because I'm the only one. I'm the main one that supports me and what goes on. So I work very, very hard. So that way one day I won't have to work as hard. So, don't be in a place of stillness. Take advantage of this time period. Even if it's just taking a vacation, you never know what a vacation could bring for you. People don't want to have fun with themselves anymore, I notice, but sometimes fun is just what you need. It's just what you need. You have reunion of souls coming out, divine timing. You also have struggle. So if you're struggling, sometimes that represents going a different direction. You can still stay on the same path, but sometimes you got to make it move a different way. Wait till this thing focus again. Okay. Okay, so that card hit me. All right, so I'm going to get 2 more messages from this, and then we're closing out the reading, guys. New beginnings. All right, new beginnings, slow but steady. And you also have struggle. This hit me. So this basically means this is what a lot of you are holding on to. Well, I can't do it. It's too hard. It's too hard to go down this path alone, is what I'm hearing. Again, you do not have to change your purpose, even if it's difficult, because following your dreams is not going to be easy. But a lot of times people take that as, well, it's too much of a struggle, so maybe that means I'm not supposed to be doing it. No, it just means you need to go with the current. Maybe you can't move now, but I guarantee you in a week, you can do that same thing and it'll work. You have to think like that. Whatever it takes to get to your goals. The most struggle you will receive is from yourself. So either you're going to fight through that struggle to get upstream, or you're going to take a different route. But regardless, you have to get there. Don't give up. Okay? You have new beginnings, which is the perfect card for right now. With the rain coming in. Oh, I can't wait for the rain. New eggs right here. New eggs ready to hatch. Okay? And you have slow but steady. So everybody needs to take everything one day at a time. Success is just around the corner. All right, guys. So that is your general reading for the spring equinox. I hope that you guys are participating in your own little rituals. And what I mean by rituals is just something that you do daily or every spring equinox that kind of brings in abundance, because this is the best time to bring in your abundance or set yourself up for the rest of the year, okay? Where you can be prosperous, where you can be abundant, where you're doing different things, start your projects, stuff like that. This is a great time for that, okay? That's why you're receiving so many intuitive downloads. You're starting to wake up, okay? You've been in a sleep, you've been in a rest, you've been in your meditative mode. Now it's time to let that energy out. You're starting to retain your energy, okay? So take advantage of this time period. As always, again, if you would like to book a reading, go to DonnaDreamz.com. If you like this type of reading where it's just kind of general, please make sure you leave a comment below, and I will do my best amongst the difficulties, technical difficulties, to get my butt on here and